Hey, baseball way lifers, happy hump day. How you all doing? Yeah, another day of baseball, another day of baseball to talk about yesterday. What a day indeed, huh? Where do we start? Well, let's start with the Yankees and Astros, just like old times in the Bronx. Well, Yankee fans have been storing up their hostility towards the Astros for a long, long time now, and they let the Astros know that they were going to be louder than trash cans yesterday. How about that? It was almost like a playoff atmosphere. A lot of playoff atmosphere games being played so far. You got the Dodgers and the Padres, Yankees and Astros. Baseball is hot and heavy. Coming back strong this year with some really, really exciting games and exciting stories. And what a Yankee game yesterday, huh? How about that full speed crash between Rougned Odor and Martin Maldonado that capped a bases clearing play as part of a 4-run sixth inning, helping the Yankees pull away for a 7-3 victory on Tuesday at Rockin' Yankee Stadium. Yeah, it was the first time the Astros came to the Bronx since the sign stealing scandal, and what a play to seal the victory for the Yankees. Now, I know we're all about launch angles and home runs, but it's plays like that that make baseball so exciting. Uh, really, really amazing. Full speed crash. Uh, what can you say? It was intense. Uh, if you're an Astro fan, I feel sorry for you because it looks like Yankee Stadium is probably going to be probably one of the most hostile places, but it's going to be tough being on the road for the Astros this year, without a doubt. Now that the crowds are coming back, and I don't know how long it's going to take for fans to forget all this, but we'll soon see. It all started with DJ Mayhew's two-out dribbler that set everything into motion. Bregman barehanded the ball and whipped it wildly past first base. Gleyber Torres and Kyle Hayashioka scored easily, and Odor was waved around as well, tangling his left knee with Maldonado's body as the skip away. Both players left the game with injuries. Yankees said Odor sustained a left knee injury and was scheduled to go on MRI at New York Presbyterian Hospital on today, I guess. And Maldonado was diagnosed with an injured trapezius muscle in his day-to-day. And how about Giancarlo Stanton? He is really smacking the ball, and when he hits and Judge hits, the Yankees win. It's that simple. And he helped the Yankees to their ninth win in 12 games as he hit a two-run homer off of Zach Greinke in the first inning. Then added a scoring hit in the sixth inning, and the crowd was rocking. Crowd was rocking. Even Aaron Boone said it felt like a playoff atmosphere. The energy that was created, we haven't seen that since 2019. It was a fun game to be a part of, and it was. Uh, it's only going to get better. You got a couple more games in the Bronx. I think Garrett Cole goes tomorrow. That should be fun. But Stanton is the man. Stanton is really hitting the ball hard and hitting it well. I know he's always one of these guys with the big exit velocity, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't get hits. But he slugged a slow curveball into the left field seats for a two-run homer. Uh, and that was the slowest pitch that Stanton's ever homered on. So he had to put a lot of muscle behind that one. And the bullpen did well for the Yankees, and that was big. They combined for 4 scoreless innings. Good defense by the Yankees. Overall, a good game. Good defensive game. Good pitching. Domingo Germán pitched 5 good innings, and the bullpen was there for them. So big game for the Yankees yesterday, and that's good to see. The other game we want to talk about, well, actually 2 games. How about those Cubs-Dodgers? Dodgers, what is going on with them? I'm the one. Thank God you guys don't listen to me and lay your dinero down in Vegas, because I said the Dodgers could win more than 116 games that the Mariners did, but they are really, really struggling right now. And who would have thought that? And the injury bug is starting to creep in on the Dodgers, and they're now 17-14, a game and a half behind San Francisco. Who saw that coming? They aren't a dead heat with San Diego, and ultimately that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be Dodgers and the Padres battling out. I thought the Dodgers were going to be the greatest team I ever saw in my lifetime, and once again, Uncle Stan is proven wrong. and I do apologize for that. So if you listen to me, you're not as big a fool as I am, but don't listen to me. I just sit here behind the camera and tell you crap. But anyway, no, I don't. I'm just here to tell you that baseball is very, very unpredictable. Like my good friend John Sterling always says, do not bet on baseball. Do not bet on baseball. But what a wild day yesterday. It was a day-night doubleheader, and the day ended with a 4-3 walk-off win with Mr. Bote hitting the walk-off hit, and it was a day of pitching. You would think the Dodgers would have won at least one. They had Clayton Kershaw pitching and Trevor Bauer. Kershaw had his worst performance ever. He exited his quickest exit, I think, in his career. He lasted an inning, pitched over 30 pitches, and it just didn't work out for him. What can you say? I really don't know what to say about the Dodgers. Kershaw, you're going to have days like that. Even Trevor Bauer said after he got hit hard that if anyone needs a batting practice pitcher for the home run derby, you can contact him. It was that kind of day. The Cubs forced Bauer at a Tuesday night's game before the end of the fifth inning. So that goes to show you it just didn't work out for the Dodgers aces yesterday. And the Dodgers, everyone was counting them out, but they're hanging in tough. They are hanging in tough, that's for sure. Anytime you can beat the defending world champions, a team like the Dodgers, it's something to write home about. In Game 2, Javier Baez hit the game-tying homer in the 8th. And then Bode had the walk-off single on the 9th. And Bode even said those were 2 hard wins. Greg Kimbrell actually had a little shaky game. He gave up his first earned run, a home run, yesterday to Max Muncy. And that ended his streak at 19 consecutive innings with only 1 earned run allowed in that 19-game streak. And it was his first home run he gave up since July 31st. So between those home runs, Kimbrell's had a 1.80 ERA with 45 strikeouts collected and 12 hits in just over 27 games and 101 batters. So he's striking out almost every other batter is striking out against Kimbrell, which is pretty damn amazing. So way to go, Craig Kimbrell. What else was happening yesterday, you say? Well, it's that time of year now where we're going to start talking about trades and who are the candidates going to be. I would have to say the number one candidate to be traded has got to be Trevor Story. If you let Nolan Arenado go, you probably have to let Trevor Story go and just rebuild from scratch. They want to get something in return. He is having a good year. He's got 4 homers and 18 RBIs in 28 games. Slugging percentage of .520, on base percentage of .340. But even still, the Rockies, they're scrapping. They're trying to be competitive, but they're still 12-19 and last place in the NL West. So if you're going to be in last place with Trevor Story, you might as well be in last place with Trevor Story, without Trevor Story. Now, the other candidate is Chris Bryant. He was supposed to be dealt before the beginning of the year, some said. But the Cubs are going to be a tough nut to figure. Are they going to stay in the race? You watch games like yesterday when they hung tough against the Dodgers and say, they can do it. Don't give up. But the bottom line is they're still 2 games under 500. And are they much better than a 500 team? And if they aren't, then you really do have to consider maybe trading Chris Bryant at this point. The other candidate is Max Scherzer. I mean, Scherzer's 37, and if the Nats aren't going to compete, they're at the crossroads too. But in that National League East, it could be crazy. Maybe there is no runaway team, and you got to keep them. But any team would be crazy not to look into getting Max Scherzer. And how about Tyler Glasnow? I don't know about that one because he's only making $4 million this year. But he's arbitration eligible for 2 more years before reaching free agency. And that's usually when the Tampa Bay Rays usually start dealing with these pitchers like David Price and James Shield. They really haven't said they would trade him, but Rays really don't keep players for that long a time. And then the other player you might want to keep an eye on is Michael Conforto and Syndergaard, but I think the Mets are going to go all out this year to win, and I can't see them trading either Conforto or Syndergaard. And who knows, Dodgers, if Corey Seager's going to be a free agent. And the only way I see them trading Corey Seager is if they're more interested in Story, Baez, or Correa. But I doubt that very much. But those are players you might want to look at coming into the offseason. Just want to give you an update as to where teams stand and where they may be headed. And now let's go into the present again. How about the Cease? Chicago White Sox. All these players come to the forefront this season, even with the injuries to Jimenez and Lee Robert. These guys are coming through. Dylan Cease is another one. He took a no-hitter into the fifth inning while striking out 11, but he showed that he can hit the ball to the opposite field. The last time he saw live pitching was during his senior year of high school, but 3 Reds pitchers couldn't figure out how to keep right-handed hitting Cease from making solid contact, and he got 3 hits yesterday. Can you imagine? He hasn't seen live games since 2014. Amazing. He became the 4th pitcher in the expansion era to record a hit in each of his first 3 plate appearances, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, joining Steven Matz. I remember that one, the second game of doubleheader in 2015 against the Nationals. T.J. Tucker and Larry Miller. And with Atlanta's Huascar Ynoa hitting a grand slam in yesterday's game over the Nationals, it's the first time in 71 years that one pitcher had 3 hits and a pitcher and a pitcher in a different game homered with the bases loaded. So weird stuff happened yesterday. These pitchers are hitting now. Do we need to designate a hitter? You got to love these stories when it does happen with pitchers. So it raises a good point. Do you really need to designate a hitter? A lot of good stories coming from pitchers here in hitting. I don't know. I'm old school, and I was convinced we were going to lose the National League. Now that they have it, maybe they should consider keeping it. Just ask Ynoa. He hit against someone. He hit another home run. It's as many starts, and he's earned the nickname of Designated Huascar. In addition to allowing just 1 earned run over 7 innings yesterday, the Braves right-hander put the game out of reach with a grand slam in Atlanta's 6-1 win over the Washington Nationals in Nationals Park. Even home run machine Ronald Acuna said, incredible, he did a great job, and he did what we expected him to do. I mean, we've come to expect that from him on the mound and at the plate. And he first brings home pitcher to hit back-to-back homers. Both 2 accomplished pitchers who pitched for the Braves in Milwaukee, Lou Burdette and Warren Spahn, did it in June 1961. So he joins good company. Amazing. That's the beauty of baseball, my friends. You never know what's going to happen. And the other thing that happened is we have some surprise teams this year. Really making their way. And probably the biggest surprise out of all the Giants, I think they're in first place, and they're in the same division as the Padres and Dodgers. The other teams, I'm surprised at the Mariners. I think it's a matter in time between the Mariners and the other team that's a surprise team, the Royals, actually start coming to the forefront. Mariners have some really good talent in the pipeline, but they may be sneaking up on us a little bit quicker than we think. Giants have played a soft schedule. They played a lot of games against the Marlins and Rockies, but they also held their own against the Padres. They're 3-3 against them. And it looks like the guys they were counting on, or some of the veterans that they signed, are doing okay. They rebuilt the pitching staff. The vets are coming through, especially Buster Posey. Buster Posey's turned into the old Buster Posey that we know. And it'll be interesting. Like I said, it's a long season. We just turned the page on April, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, the Giants rebuilt their pitching staff with Gausman, Kevin Gausman re-signing him and adding DeSclafani, Aaron Sanchez, and Alex Wood to one-year deals, and they've all been outstanding so far. So who knows? Maybe the Band-Aid approach will work for him down the line. We'll see. And how about those Seattle Mariners? 15-12 April. And this one, I think, remember they got off to that good start in 2019 when they went 13-12. But that was basically Mitch Haniger carrying the team back then, and Ty France. But sometimes you just have to let the young players play, and I think that's what they're doing. And like I said, bring them up, let them play. I'm not one in favor of babying these players all the time, so we'll see what happens. And Mariners are probably the biggest surprise of all because the Royals, they made some acquisitions to win. They signed Benintendi. They have Whit Merrifield, Hunter Dozier. So they have some accomplished players. But Danny Duffy, probably the best thing the Royals never did is they never traded Danny Duffy. He has a 0.60 as ERA as a starter so far this year, and he's been everything that they bargained for and then some. I think the Royals will probably have the better season out of all three teams, but I think the Mariners in the long run are probably the team with the most potential. And the Giants, they say stay competitive. They're never rebuilding. They're trying to stay tough. You got to admire their tenacity at plugging away. But it'll be fun seeing those guys play. Wander Franco, the minor league season started last year. This happened last year. Wander Franco, the minor leagues. I think they him up and soon. He appeared right at home in his first game with the AAA Durham Bulls. He's baseball's #1 prospect, and he had an RBI triple in the fourth and flashed his speed as he beat out an infield single for another run-scoring hit in the seventh. Finished 3 for 5, and it's just continuing off where he left off. In 2019, he batted .327 across 2 levels. His hit total an 80 on the 20/80 scale, I should say. So he's as good as it comes when it comes to hitting, and it's just time. You want him in the lineup every day, and Tampa Bay shouldn't waste the season on keeping him down there. Tampa Bay could still be competitive, and they need him. They need him. And like I said, if you listen to me, there's no bigger fan of Wander Franco than myself, and I'm not even a Tampa Bay fan. I don't even have a stake in this race. And let's talk about some guys who don't get too much attention. How about, yes, indeed, Ruchard Rodriguez. He pitched a relief pitcher's perfect game, meaning he's now pitched more than 27 outs without giving up a hit or a walk. Yesterday, he reached that perfect game status when he pitched a perfect 9th inning, retiring the Padres in order. In the process, the right-hander pushed his streak of consecutive batters retired to 28, marking the first reliever perfect game, 27 straight retired by a Pirates hurler since at least 1974. The last batter Rodriguez allowed to reach base was San Diego's Eric Hosmer, who had a 2-out single in the 9th on April 12th. So way to go. It's almost been a month since he's allowed anybody on base. That's quite a feat, and congratulations to him. Now on the injury front, the Mets are getting a little bit of a scare now. Jacob deGrom had to skip a start yesterday, and that's not too good. So now the Mets have deGrom, Davis, Nimmo, and Diaz all kind of injured and banged up. Davis is on the 10-day list. Nimmo was left out of Monday's starting lineup, and we'll see if they put him back in the lineup. He should be. Diaz pulled up with back stiffness. And deGrom may end up missing a start, but doesn't look like he'll go on the DL. So breathing a sigh of relief. It seems like every year's along the way. It's the beginning of the season. If you go back in the annals of Met history. So we'll see what happens here. Not looking too good for Christian Yelich. He went back on the DL after being on DL for 10 days with a lower back strain. He had 2 hits on Monday, but I don't know. They really can't figure out what's going on. He's frustrated. In his pain restriction, he's not able to do a lot, but they really can't pinpoint what it is beyond an MRI. So he's hoping that Christian, he's one of the faces of baseball, and he's catching a tough break. Anthony Rendon missed yesterday's game after getting hit with a fouling a pitch off his left kneecap. And Shohei Ohtani, he missed the start, but you could see he hit well. And he plans on being in the lineup providing that big bat of his, which is so important for the Angels. Luke Voit is on his way back, I think. He was sent to a rehab assignment at AAA Scranton. So it'd be nice if the Yankees get him back. What a trio, the power hitters they'll have if Judge, Stanton, and Voit are all healthy and hitting the ball well. Odor, like I said, hurt himself in that crash yesterday. Toronto has George Springer recovering for still feeling something in his right quad, and he's day-to-day. But when he came back, you could see the electricity and juice he lends to that team. Bryce Harper looks like he's going to avoid the DL for Joe Girardi, so that's kind of what we want to hear. His wrist remains sore. We'll keep Chris Sale, 2 throws off the mound in Fort Myers, Florida, so that's good. And Matt Fried is coming back after spending 3 weeks on the injury reserve list. He'll make his return to the mound on Wednesday. Jake Arrieta was put on a 10-day injury list Tuesday with a right thumb abrasion. So a lot of injuries so far this year. Amazing. And this is kind of what we were worried about after having that shortened season, not really having a full season for quite some time. So we'll see what about these guys. Hopefully these injuries aren't like a plague and keep spreading all year. You don't want to see that. No one wants to see anyone get hurt. And that should about wrap it up for us today. I'm trying to think of other stories I could tell you. But that's it, and you're probably tired of my voice right now. But I do want to thank you guys for watching. Your support's been tremendous, and the feedback you provided me has been fantastic. So, hey, anytime you want to reach me, reach out to philstan41@gmail.com. If there's anything you want to see on these broadcasts, I try to do an update on baseball once a day, and sometimes I'll add bonus material, and you'll have an extra episode or so on a given day. But hey, please provide feedback. Like the podcast if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. I'm not afraid of criticism. Leave comments. And by all means, please subscribe. And you'll always be updated on YouTube when a new episode is uploaded. And if you're not part of the Facebook group, which basically started this YouTube channel, it's Baseball Way of Life on Facebook. Come on and join. We're almost 10,000 strong, and we have a good time on there. A lot of good stuff always discussed, so please join. That's it for today. Probably see you tomorrow if I don't have an update. And have a great day. Enjoy the games. A lot of good games today. Got an afternoon. Let's see. Before we go, let's run down the games for you that are noteworthy. We have at 12:35, only 4 hours from now, we got the White Sox and Reds. Alsco going online against Sonny Gray. Both have high ERA so far this year, but that should be a good one. The Mets and Cards make it up with a doubleheader tonight. That'll be fun. Astros and Yankees go at it again tonight. Looks like Max Fried is actually pitching today. He's going against the Nationals that I see here. So they might have moved him up a day. Who else we got going? Good, the Dodgers and Cubs, of course. Walker Buehler. He'll be going against the Cubs. See if the Cubs continue their magic. Shohei Ohtani, if you guys can stay up late. We got the standard 9:38 starting time with the Rays and Angels tonight. Shohei on the mound against Tampa. Tampa Bay, always a tough game. And the one that I'm always, the two teams that I find sexy in the American League, all right, if you find sexy, maybe you're giving us too much information, Stan. Toronto and Oakland go at it. Toronto 14-14, and I think they're a team to watch for the next couple of years. And the Oakland A's just continue to amaze me. Yu Darvish gets to twirl tonight. It's against the Buccos. Darvish off to a pretty good start, 3-1, 2.13 ERA. And the Indians and the Royals, two teams that are kind of surprising this year. Bieber against Singer. Singer, he's going to be a good pitcher, kids. Keep an eye on him. He's 1-3 with 3.09 ERA for the Royals. And Bieber, we know all about him. He's 3-2 with a 2.76 ERA for the Indians. So those are your games for tonight. We'll talk about them tomorrow. Like I said, we're up every day with an update. Occasionally we'll pop in on a special news breaking story or profile. But as always, thank you for your support. Continue watching, and we'll talk soon. Play ball. Enjoy the day.